Hello, this is MBA Bites, our series about things you learn in business school and things you don't. I am Vin Bittencourt, and our episode of today is about thinking. More specifically, original, innovative thinking that's driving transformations, and how you can use innovative thinking skills to maximize your impact, experience financial, intellectual growth, but mostly get access to better career opportunities. Innovative thinking is the driver of our knowledge economy. Everything we see out there, money, finance, technological transformations are the byproducts of human capital, of human ingenuity. It all comes from creative, original, innovative thinking, conceptual thinking. The amount of data of information we have today is unprecedented. At no other point in history we had access to as much data and information as we do today. But more important than having access to timely and relevant data information, it's knowing what to do with it. Knowing how to transform that data and that information into knowledge, into actual based learning experiences. And that's the role of original, creative, innovative thinking, critical thinking. Having the capacity to absorb information, to process, to analyze things critically, to assess value, to assess risk, to assess opportunities. This is good, this is bad, this has potential, this is dangerous. Those sorts of things are the byproducts of creative, critical, and analytical thinking as well. So those are some of the thinking competencies that we must develop at some point in our careers. In a nutshell, every professional needs sound judgment to get to the top. A mix of book and street smarts. Companies expect people who can deliver insightful observations about the environment, about the world at large. Anything shorter than that and you become a cog on a wheel who's going to compete head-on with very powerful, very sophisticated artificial systems. So how do you change the game and make sure that's actually not the race that you're running? To start, you have to master what I like to call C.I.A. thinking, critical, innovative, analytical thinking. In my observations, original thinking, it's encapsulated by those three thinking competencies: creative, innovative, analytical. Deployed in different situations, they can help talent professionals navigate the complexities of work and life. So in your pathway to become a world-class professional, you have to master C.I.A. thinking at some point. So let's look critical, innovative, analytical thinking competencies in action. The C of C.I.A. thinking stands for critical thinking. Critical thinking is the process of pondering, reading, evaluating, looking critically at information. For instance, do you believe everything you read, everything you watch? Do you ever question the motive, the agenda of people when they say the things they say? Do you ever make assumptions, out of information that's shared out of context, for example? Critical thinking is the art of assessing value in people, including yourself, in things and situations. It's being able to look and assessing risks, opportunities, challenges, and everything that life puts in front of you. Once you realize critical thinking requires you to stay well informed, you surround yourself with high-quality sources of information. You read respected publications, you listen to interesting podcasts, you seek the advice of people of high caliber, people that actually know what they're talking about. And in the process, start mix and matching all those contrarian views and sometimes conflicting ideas to elevate your mind, to exercise your critical thinking. Once you start surrounding yourself with high-quality sources of information and exercising critical thinking, you're in a favorable position not only to assess value, but to make better decisions for yourself. A professional who lacks critical thinking can be easily manipulated or bypassed for growth. In life, most things are not said or not shared in the open. You have to find meaning, you have to find the truth for yourself. Having critical thinking allows you to understand human nature and behaviors and seek for the information that you need at any given moment. Sometimes people are concealing information, they're not being honest or trustworthy, or it's pretty much straightforward with you. And you have to have the capacity to understand those things. In exchange, people who have critical thinking, they're really good at listening and decoding instructions. They understand personal agendas, they understand personal motives, they understand human nature, but mostly they know how to separate essential information from noise. So based on that, what are some of the strategies you can use to hone your critical thinking skills and get the C out of C.I.A. thinking out of the bag and working for you? Study, train, stay well informed, always. Exercise conceptual thinking. Read a lot, fiction, non-fiction, works in psychology, communication, relationships. Look at a big picture, understand what's happening in the world, leading transformations, emerging technologies, social transformations and events in pop culture, in business. Look for opportunities in career tracks where you can join, where you can grow, and you can have the exposures and things that are emerging, that are growing in importance. Above all, the capacity to assess value and exercise sound judgment can take you very far and also protect you from danger. The I of C.I.A. stands for innovative thinking. While everyone pretty much is creative or have the capacity to be creative, most people don't see themselves as creative types. It takes a lot of experimentation and trial and error to strike gold and come up with innovative solutions. So it's easier to assume that, innovative thinking and creative thinking comes from fertile artistic minds, when in reality, everyone is equipped to come up with innovative ideas. It's just a matter of trying and trusting your capacity to be creative, but also exercising creative thinking. There's a lot of process, there's a lot of, experimentation behind great innovative thinking. For business and career, the most chased innovations are the ones designed to enhance the customer experience. In the digital economy, products and services are pretty much commoditized. So what actually differentiates companies is branding and storytelling. And companies want to reward people who can help them craft those compelling messages and who can help them design those amazing customer experiences. Every business innovation presents trade-offs between what consumers want, what technology allows from a technical standpoint, and what companies can afford financially. To accommodate these trade-offs that lead to innovation, there are several methodologies in business to capture, to bottle, to distribute creative thinking on a scale. One of the most popular methodologies to promote creativity at both individual and organizational level is design thinking. Although not perfect, the 5 stages of design thinking, empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test, democratize innovation in a way that shares principles of industrial designers with everyday professionals. At a career level, you exercise empathy by improving processes within your department, by designing more engaging meetings, by designing more engaging presentations, by improving the communication between departments A and B, by minimizing client inquiries, maybe creating a dashboard or sort of a self-service portal where clients can go to find information without having to call you. At a business level, you exercise empathy by mining customers' feedback, by listening to their complaints, to their issues, by finding ways to connect, to improve the customer experience, but mostly to unlock new ways to sell more. A few strategies to apply innovative thinking at work. Read about design thinking. Maybe consider taking an affordable online training or workshop to understand the methodology and get your creative juices flowing. Observe people in action, spot on behaviors, ask questions, seek for feedback. Read about effective ways to create customer journey maps. Propose a customer journey map creation to your team. If you have a role that's not client-facing, treat other internal teams as your clients. Look for small things to fix at work. Small, simple processes you can improve so you gain the confidence to experiment and familiar with changes at work. The A of C.I.A. stands for analytical thinking, which is a mix of education, training, and intuition to arrive at better informed decisions. Smart sensors, the Internet of Things, big data, all of those are technologies that allow companies to collect vast amounts of data, which they hope to turn into information for better decision making. But this whole process is powered by a human factor. Finding solutions in business is a balance between looking at hard data and figures and relying on feeling, on intuition sometimes. As great as the data may be, it never tells you the whole story. So as a career professional, your role is to use those powers of observation to deliver on what the language of business calls quantitative and qualitative analysis. Analytical thinking is a prime competence of the digital age. Companies expect people who can look at vast amounts of data and know the story behind the data. In other words, people who can establish relationships of cause and effect, describe what's right, describe what's wrong, prescribe ways to improve or to fix things, and mostly predict the future sort of in a way based on the evidence available. What qualifies as analytical thinking for business? On the quantitative side, basic statistic models, regressions, percentages, means, standard deviations. On the qualitative side, being able to measure sentiment, engagement towards brands, towards promotions, or any sort of value proposition. A few strategies to improve your analytical thinking. Study basic concepts of statistics. It is less scary than most people think. Means, middle, modes, standard deviations, regression analysis. Understand basic concepts and tools of Excel, VLOOKUPs, pivot tables, maybe a little bit of SQL, standard query language, which has become very popular lately. Read and understand basic concepts of marketing research, how to formulate surveys, maybe how to organize focus groups, how to mine and evaluate secondary research data. Look for ways to build dashboards or elegant solutions where you can present data concisely. Decision trees, workflow charts, something that presents your data, your thinking in your quantitative, qualitative capacity, but is very professional, very elegant. Understand basic concepts of accounting and finance, cost of capital, internal rate of return, net present value. In the end, you want to be a better professional, one who can make decisions based on feeling and intuition, but also in rational and numerical evidence, even if you have been running for numbers your entire life. This is the kind of training that does not take years. At best, a few workshops, a few online programs so you can practice and gain skills with a high market value. Always remember, while information and data are plenty, common sense and high-quality critical, innovative, and analytical thinking is rare. A person of passion and original ideas always stands out. Superior minds are not the ones with more knowledge, but the ones constantly seeking knowledge. I hope you enjoyed this episode of MBA Bites, our series about things you learn in business school and things you don't. Please don't forget to subscribe for our insights on money, business, career. I am Vin Bittencourt, and I see you next time.